Please welcome William Rickert, Chair, Board of Trustees.
Good afternoon, everyone. As chairman of the Teachers College Board of Trustees, I have the honor of officially opening today's ceremony and being the first to congratulate the 2018 Masters candidates of Teachers College. The diplomas you'll receive today are not just rewards for the courses, papers, and exams you have completed. Because they are TC diplomas, they are proof that you have collaborated with some of the best minds in your field, that you are ready to confront the biggest challenges, and that you have what it takes to become outstanding leaders and change makers. Many of you will take on the noble profession of teaching, armed with the rigorous combination of theory, practice, and specialized training that only TC can provide. There is no more urgent or higher calling than the shaping of future generations, and we salute all of our teachers here today. But preparing teachers is only one of the ways that Teachers College fulfills its mission of advancing education and improving the lives of individuals, families, and communities. TC graduates are dedicated to increasing human well-being, both in and out of schools and classrooms, and across the lifespan. As principals, superintendents, as artists and art administrators, as psychologists and health practitioners, and as leaders in every stripe. For more than 130 years, TC scholars have discovered new ways to understand the complex forces that shape our minds, our bodies, and our relationships with each other and with the world around us. Their foresight led to the creation of many fields, such as social studies education, special education, and inclusive education. Many of you will now advance these fields in your own distinct ways. Today, TC offers more than 100 programs in education, health, psychology, and leadership, all sharing a single aim: to help individuals and communities reach their full potential. Making all this possible and helping TC reach its full potential requires extraordinary leadership at the top. And Teachers College has been blessed with great leadership for the past 12 years. And it's my very great pleasure to introduce the president of Teachers College, Susan H. Furman.
Good afternoon. Welcome to a most joyous occasion as we honor the talented women and men who have already achieved so much and are just getting started. I give you the 2018 Masters graduates of Teachers College. Congratulations, graduates. You made it. Congratulations as well to those who helped you make it to this day, our outstanding faculty and dedicated staff. And let's all show our appreciation to your families and partners for their love, encouragement, and support. Graduates, you now join the ranks of our 90,000 alumni who are leaders in education, psychology, and health. Like them, you now have the power to transform learning environments and to expand opportunity for everyone, including our most marginalized and vulnerable fellow human beings. And like your fellow alumni, you are dedicating your lives and careers to the pursuit of social justice, a tradition that literally goes back to our founder, Grace Hoadley Dodge. Grace Dodge was among the leaders of a growing movement in the late 19th century to provide educational and social opportunities for low-income and marginalized populations. Like her contemporary Jane Addams, who founded settlement houses where people from different socioeconomic backgrounds could share ideas and information, Grace was bound and determined to improve the lives of struggling families. It was her unique vision to establish a college that would prepare educators and scientists to work with immigrant students and their families who had recently fled poverty, war, and prejudice, and were still encountering xenophobia and economic peril. It was also Grace Dodge's brilliance to recognize the need for the skills, cultural understanding, and self-awareness to understand and address immigrants' educational, health, and psychological needs. Grace Dodge believed this deeper knowledge could help immigrants and their communities achieve economic mobility and social equality. Thanks to her, Teachers College quickly became a force for increasing opportunity in education and all aspects of life as a path to greater social justice. But also implicit in Grace's vision was another TC hallmark, the value of research, and the notion that for all of us at the college, regardless of our field of study or career path, evidence guides and informs our scholarship and practice. This is what I want to stress today in my final convocation speech. TC is both a professional school and a research powerhouse, and one can't do either, preparing professionals well or preparing researchers about practice well without the other. We rely on research to better understand phenomena, such as, for example, how the brain processes and responds to information. Research also helps us to understand the different populations we serve. Why is that so important? Because you can't help people learn, grow, and reach their full potential if you don't truly understand who they are and the cultures they've come from. You can't engage them in learning and growing without understanding the lens through which they see the world and building on what they already know. Finally, research informs our practice, guiding us to choose solutions and approaches that best serve those whom we teach, heal, lead, or otherwise assist. If these ideas came of age in Grace Dodge's time, they are absolutely imperative in our own era. We live in an era, why? We live at a time, first of all, when advances in understanding of learning are occurring almost daily, not just in schools and classrooms, but in corporations, in the military, in technology startups, and in programs to support development around the world. Here at TC, research is driving innovation and informing professional practice in psychology, health, and education. Imagine preparing professionals in an environment devoid of such discoveries. It would be like preparing a surgeon entirely through apprenticeship, without a grounding in anatomy, physiology, or pathology. With the explosion of knowledge in recent years about how people learn and about human development, preparing practitioners to function in an environment divorced from that intellectual ferment would be like preparing doctors without emerging knowledge of the human genome or individually targeted therapies. It would be profoundly conservative, backward-looking, not forward-looking. Our faculty are making fundamental discoveries through observation and engagement with the communities they serve. Take Erica Walker, chair of our Math, Science, and Technology Department, and the new director of our Institute for Urban and Minority Education. She wondered whether her research on the formative experiences of famous Black mathematicians could be leveraged more broadly. The answer, based on 4 years she spent working with students at a predominantly Black and Latino high school in New York City, was a resounding yes. As she describes in her book, Building Mathematics Learning Communities, she began by recruiting the students who were already go-to explainers to lead help sessions for their peers. To connect to their students, these young tutors drew on vivid analogies from their lives, from the shows they watched and the music they listened to. As these organic learning communities came together and grew, math performance, and even more importantly, love of math itself, soared. Then there's the example of TC developmental psychologist Jeannie Brooks Gunn. She and a team of researchers have spent years mining information from the Fragile Families and Well-Being Study, which has been following nearly 5,000 children born in large U.S. cities between 1998 and 2000, including many to unmarried parents. Professor Brooks Gunn has produced many important findings. Among them, she discovered that many mothers parent more harshly during tough economic times. And she found that programs such as Early Head Start and Head Start produce positive long-term effects on employment and educational attainment. Now, Professor Brooks Gunn and her colleagues are using new scientific tools to map the complex relationship among the environment, experience, and individual genetic makeup. For example, they found that for children as young as 9, losing a father is highly correlated with chromosome damage associated with adult heart disease, cancer, and other disorders. In a nation in which 40% of children are born to single mothers and at a much higher rate in impoverished areas, that is a powerful finding indeed. TC is bringing the power of research to bear on even the most daunting challenges. Last year, Professor Mary Mendenhall and colleagues, Professor Garnet Russell and Elizabeth Buckner, published the first ever global study of the urban refugee education crisis, in which entire generations of displaced young people are coming of age without adequate schooling or job skills. Detailing the vast gap between the well-intentioned policies of many host countries and the actual delivery of services, the study called for greater support of non-formal education programs. Professor Mendenhall and her students are now answering that call. At Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya, they have created an intensive professional development program that targets teachers who are refugees themselves, but pressed into service with no prior classroom experience. The program provides training in child protection and well-being, as well as pedagogy, curriculum, and instruction. Teachers are coached on collaborative learning to manage classrooms of up to 150 students. And when training ends, they remain connected with mentors from around the world using WhatsApp on their cell phones. These examples powerfully convey the importance of research and its implication for introducing practices and policies that can make an enormous difference in human lives. They also affirm the value of research-based graduate schools of education and allied fields. How, after all, can any education policymaker, educator, psychologist, health professional, or organizational leader afford to be ignorant of such efforts, not to mention the results they are achieving and the information they are providing? Attending a research-based school is critically important because emerging research prepares you for tomorrow, not just today. Confining professional training to just observing good practice is profoundly short-sighted, particularly when knowledge is increasing exponentially. Graduates, your TC education has prepared you to translate evidence that's been generated by research into practice and to evaluate the results. You will tailor what you've learned to the specific contexts and communities in which you work. Of course, many of you are already engaged in that work. International Education Development graduate Desiree Halpern, who is fluent in English, Spanish, Polish, French, and Farsi, did her TC thesis on how religion, culture, displacement, and trauma affect the learning experiences of displaced Afghan girls. Many of these young women are second-generation refugees who've never seen Afghanistan, yet still contend with the Taliban's restrictions on women's education. Desiree interviewed many of these girls, as well as teachers and aid workers in refugee camps across Europe. She learned that the interplay between values and traditions is much more complicated, and interpersonal communication and relationship building are required to determine what will best serve young girls' education. To that end, last summer, Desiree taught young children in an Afghan refugee camp in Greece. With her Farsi, she immediately connected with her students, who called her auntie. Desiree believes that cultural norms, religious prohibitions, or living conditions cannot extinguish the thirst for knowledge. She now works for the Scholar Rescue Fund of the Institute of International Education, which secures safe academic environments for persecuted and endangered scholars. Desiree, your commitment to make the world a better place is paying off. Keep up the great work. Doing great work closer to home are Asha Owens, Danielle Laneza, and Rebecca Cui. In December, they won TC's first EdTech Innovation Showcase Award, which led to the startup launch of Best Fit Incorporated, a smartphone app that enables anxious high school students to ask first-generation college peers about costs, campus life, academic rigor, and other concerns. Best Fit affirms the importance of research in shaping educational technology and the power of interdisciplinary collaboration. Asha majored in neuroscience at Brown and is receiving her TC master's degree in instructional technology and media. Danielle majored in psychology at Rutgers and is earning her TC master's degree in developmental psychology. Rebecca majored in economics at Columbia and is earning her master's degree in higher and post-secondary education. Best Fit has drawn national media coverage and interest from venture capitalists. What's next for these three graduates? Danielle will enter a clinical health psychology program. Rebecca plans to develop educational technologies for universities and young adults. And Asha will stay on as CEO of Best Fit while working part-time for a narrative writing platform. Asha, Danielle, Rebecca, we expect to hear more from all of you. Congratulations. Graduates, you are the seers and shapers of the future. In this room are strategists who will help organizations adapt to new challenges, identify the best talent, and capitalize on the power of diversity. Others among you will create new tests and assessments that have the power to truly enhance learning by diagnosing gaps in student understanding instead of simply ranking their performance. Still, others will found companies that create tools that augment the power of teachers rather than attempt to replace them. Or you'll work to improve the educational prospects and life chances of the global refugee population. Others will lead schools and colleges to greatness, drawing on research about how best to support teachers to best prepare their students. But all of you, consultants, managers, educators, international development experts, all of you will have a hand in changing the trajectories of the lives you touch for the better, and they will change you. Why? Because your TC degrees stand for more than a resolve to confront what is wrong in society and to make it right. They're also a summons for you to continue to deepen your knowledge and understanding of the students you teach, the patients you treat, the organizations and communities you serve, so that you can work with them to achieve brighter futures. The challenges confronting our society are daunting, but my faculty colleagues and I are optimistic because we have taken the full measure of your talents, integrity, and readiness. We're confident that individually and collectively, you will make the greatest possible difference in the world, and that you will both be and create outstanding citizens in the course of your work. This is your time. Keep bright the chain of social justice and the pursuit of knowledge for the public good that began with the founding of Teachers College. And as researchers, remember the physicist David Deutsch's observation that all failures, all evils are due to insufficient knowledge. In other words, when it comes to improving the world, we can never know too much. Congratulations. We have now reached the moment in this ceremony when we honor an extraordinary individual whose life's work has advanced the cause of education while upholding TC's core mission to foster excellence and equity in the fields we serve. Among those honored at past ceremonies were Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Coretta Scott King, Senator George Mitchell, Pete Seeger, Thomas Friedman, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Gail Collins, Spike Lee, Linda Darling Hammond, Temple Grandin, and the Reverend Dr. Calvin O. Butts. This year, we honor 4 preeminent scholars and practitioners, Jelani Cobb, Eric Holder, Helene Gale, and Walter Mischel. I am pleased to welcome TC Professor Sonia Douglas Horsford, joined by Provost Tom James, to introduce Dr. Helene Gale. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and congratulations, graduates. It is my pleasure to invite our medalist, Helene Gale, to join us at the podium. Please welcome her. Helene Gale, you have often said, if you educate a girl, you educate a nation. As president and CEO of the international humanitarian organization CARE, you made the education of girls a centerpiece of your efforts to reduce poverty, illiteracy, and infant and child mortality. You empowered millions of girls, many from war-torn countries, by helping them access primary education. As you have written, few things symbolize progress in the fight against poverty better than the face of an educated girl. This philosophy has guided you throughout your career in national and global public health, a career you chose so that you could impact, quote, populations, communities, nations, and sometimes even the world. As you said when Forbes magazine named you one of the 100 most powerful women in the world, I always knew that I wanted to do the most I could for the most people. As an epidemiologist with the Centers for Disease Control during the early years of the AIDS crisis, you quickly became, according to then CDC Director David Satcher, one of the world's most trusted public health leaders. You caught the eye of an organization just getting on its feet, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, overseeing $1.5 billion in grants over 5 years. You expanded access to HIV and TB prevention and treatment and to global reproductive health services. You earned praise from the likes of Nelson Mandela and brought worldwide attention to the connections among sexual freedom, education, and personal and public health. Your work to improve the well-being and quality of life for people around the world serves you today closer to home. As the first female CEO of the Chicago Community Trust, you are helping to bring solutions to a region confronting significant inequality, violence, and under-resourced public schools. The motivation for all that I've done has always been around social justice and equity, you've said. Dr. Gale, it's no wonder that Bono himself has called you his queen. Congratulations.
Helene Gale, for your decades of leadership in the fight to eradicate poverty and improve global health, for being a fierce activist and exemplary role model for women and girls, and for helping create a more connected and more caring world. We proudly present you with the Teachers College Medal for Distinguished Service.
Thank you to both of you, and Sonia, thank you for that very lovely introduction. Good afternoon. Thank you to President Furman, and I also just want to congratulate you on this incredible 12-year leadership journey that you've been on. It has obviously made a huge impact for this institution, but also to the greater community. To members of the Board of Trustees and distinguished faculty, and congratulations to the family, friends, and most of all, the graduating class of 2018. You look so beautiful, and this is such an exciting moment. And I must say that I am truly thrilled to be your commencement speaker because it offers me a chance to say thank you to Columbia University. Almost 75 years ago, my mother, Marietta Gale, graduated from Columbia School of Social Work with her master's degree. Now, you know, back in the 1940s, getting a graduate degree as an African-American woman was not exactly commonplace. But that opportunity helped to shape the destiny of my family and started us on a path to academic excellence and service. I went on to get an undergraduate degree from Barnard College. Go Barnard! And one of my sisters received her law degree from Columbia Law School. My other 3 siblings all obtained professional or graduate degrees. So the Gale family owes a lot to Columbia University, and being your speaker here today means so much to me. It's also fitting that we're gathered in this magnificent cathedral whose chartered mission is to be a house of prayer for all people and a unifying center of intellectual light and leadership. As the country's oldest and largest graduate school of education, Teachers College is itself a center of leadership, of intellectual brilliance and light, and for unifying people and disciplines for the greater good. Teachers College has also produced an incredible list of accomplished alums and former faculty, many of whom had an important impact in my own thinking and my own career, from people like anthropologists Margaret Mead and George C. Bond to groundbreaking psychologists Carl Rogers and Rollo May, and policy leaders like Health and Human Services Secretary Donna Shalala, one of my mentors, and Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm. So it is incredibly humbling to be asked to offer advice to you, the next set of graduates who follow in these trailblazers' path. It's also humbling because being a commencement speaker is no easy feat. Having delivered a few of these, I've learned that a good commencement speech has a good beginning and a good ending, and the two should come as close together as possible. So I'm going to keep it moving and try to be brief. But let me start by telling you something you probably already know. There is no secret formula to what makes your career successful or what guarantees a fulfilling life. When I stood at my own graduation ceremonies, I definitely did not have a master plan. But what I did have were certain values and guiding principles that helped shape the path of my life and my career. So let me take a few moments to share some of those. First, let your passion be your guide and be open to the unexpected. Be prepared to throw out your 5-year and 10-year plans. When I was sitting where you were as a graduate many years ago, I never imagined that I would go on to spend more than 2 decades fighting HIV at the Centers for Disease Control and the Gates Foundation. HIV had not even been described when I was in medical school, nor did I imagine that I would move on to combating global poverty at CARE, or switch to tackling domestic social and economic inequity at the Chicago Community Trust. But what I had was a soft focus. You see, wildlife biologists describe the importance of keeping a soft focus when tracking animals. The idea is that when you zero in too closely on what you're seeking, you may miss something even better in the periphery. For me, that soft focus was the desire to help create positive social change and address issues of social justice and equity. That was a value that was deeply ingrained in me early in life, thanks to the influence of my family and the environment of the times. My first educators, my parents, taught me the importance of giving back. The biblical expression that to whom much is given, much is expected, was core to our family values. And then growing up in the 60s and the early 70s during the important social movements of civil rights, women's rights, anti-apartheid, the anti-Vietnam War protests, I witnessed the power of collective action to induce change. I knew that I wanted my life to be part of something bigger than myself. I chose medicine and ultimately public health because it gave me a practical way to make a difference in people's lives. But was the supreme plan to move from public health to lead an organization committed to ending global poverty? Absolutely not. In fact, when I was first called to lead CARE, the idea of leaving my health-focused jobs was scary. Medicine and public health was what I knew. It was my identity. It was who I was. But going to CARE gave me the chance to focus on the very issues of inequity and social injustice that led me to the field of medicine to begin with. After all, poor health is both a cause and a consequence of poverty and inequity here and around the world. At the same time, when I got the call to consider, it was the same case when I got the call to consider becoming the CEO of the Chicago Community Trust. It was certainly not my plan to move to Chicago just as the Windy City was heading into its legendary winter season. I thought I had left harsh winters behind when I escaped Buffalo decades ago. Nor was it my plan to lead a community foundation, having spent nearly 30 years of my career working on global health and global poverty. But at this very challenging and disturbing time in our nation, I began to feel this strong inner tug to do more about issues here at home. In a way, my journey that began as a socially active teenager in Buffalo has brought me full circle to a city grappling with the very issues of economic and social inequity that I've been addressing globally for decades. So as you pursue your passion, allow yourself to be open to new opportunities and new challenges, and keep a soft focus so that you don't miss what's in your periphery. And always remember what motivated you to earn this degree, to pursue this path. One of the wisest pieces of advice I've heard is from the legendary preacher, Howard Thurman. He said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." Second, think big, think bold, and believe in the possible. In my adopted hometown of Chicago, one of the city's early architects and civic leaders, Daniel Burnham, famously said, "Make no little plans." You're graduating into a world that is increasingly more unequal, more polarized, and more troubled than ever. But each generation is given the tools and experiences to solve the problem of its generation. So you are well prepared, and this is your moment. You have extraordinary resources and immense knowledge to solve problems that have long seemed intractable. Within your lifetime, just think, we've made incredible advances in science and technology, from self-driving cars and artificial intelligence and machine learning to mapping the genome and creating a revolution in new ways to treat disease. And we've seen other great social advances. For instance, the rates of global poverty and childhood mortality have been cut in half since 1990. In Chicago, investment in its public schools has helped transform that district that was once decried as the worst in the nation to one of the fastest improving systems in the country. And in the realm of economic opportunity, one of my favorite local projects is called Sweet Beginnings. Through a small business loan, a neighborhood organization launched a business to help hard-to-employ, formerly incarcerated people gain work as urban beekeepers and makers of honey and honey-infused skin products. These products are now sold under the label of Bee Love in Whole Foods and other stores across the country. Now, not only are these men and women earning an income, their recidivism rate has dropped dramatically to only 4% as compared to 55% for the rest of Illinois. So change does in fact happen. And just imagine what change you will help to contribute to through the course of your own careers. So my third and final point, plan big, but start small. When you commit your life to having an impact, whether through education, health, psychology, or some other field, it can be easy to get caught up in the bigness of the mission. I think at times we underappreciate the power that we have as individuals to create positive change. We often ask ourselves, what can I do as only one person? But as TC faculty Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So start small. With one effort combined with the next, you can affect great progress. And whatever your entry point, whether it's academia, government, business, or the nonprofit sector, whether it's domestic or global, just start. Find the best way to apply your passion, your education, and your unique talents for the benefit of all. And wherever you go, remember to serve as that source of intellectual light and leadership. Never lose faith that together, leveraging the power of our individual motivations to create change, you can live up to this college's early vision to create a smarter, healthier, more peaceful, and equitable world. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our student speaker, Nathan Shields Mullen, master's candidate, International Education Development and Leadership, Department of International and Transcultural Studies.
President Furman, Provost James, Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, thank you for the incredible honor of being able to address the 2018 graduating class of Teachers College, Columbia University. I'd also like to thank my mother, back there, Mom, who has defined for me through action what it means to be an educator. Thank you. I slept and dreamt that life was beauty. I awoke and found that life was duty. Was thy dream then a shadowy lie? Toil on, sad heart, courageously, and thou shalt find thy dream to be a noonday light and true to thee. Very simply, these words by 19th century poet Ellis Sturgis Hooper tie together responsibility and action with happiness in life. And where many of us sit at important crossroads, our next decisions are more important than ever. And where I foresee many of us hearing, follow your passion, I believe that our time calls for something more. Instead of asking yourself, what is my passion? I challenge you to ask yourself, what is my duty? Your duty towards other people and the responsibilities outside of yourself. As reflected in the poem, "We dream of an easy life, a life of beauty." This is not our reality. Unfortunately, our society is plagued with social injustice, mass shootings, and a government that is blind towards foreign and domestic youth. Our role in life has now become a responsibility. I have found, however, that there is great satisfaction that comes when you are a dutiful person and take responsibility for the bigger things in life. At Teachers College, we have taken our first steps in fulfilling our duty to humanity. We have ventured on a social and academic quest to answer some of our biggest questions. As a cohort of scholars, we have joined the legacy of those before us, including my own grandfather, who received his PhD from Teachers College in 1959. In fulfilling his duty, he shortly after moved his family to the base of the Hindu Kush Mountains, where he helped in the development of schools in Kabul, Afghanistan. We too are joining their ranks and becoming change makers. Toil on, sad heart, courageously, and thou shalt find thy dream to be. I want to repeat this line because I believe it's the most important. Toil on, sad heart, courageously, and thou shalt find thy dream to be. Its importance lies in its action. I believe that it will be our generation who will redefine what it means to be courageous. This redefinition starts with us, and by example, future generations will come to understand this, live it, and lead by it. I have found that courage is action, not size, energy, not strength, and responsibility, not entitlement. Courage is a group of high school students from Parkland, Florida, who have stood up to a nation and changed the discourse around gun violence. And now I call on us as graduates at one of the most forward-thinking graduate schools in the world to prepare and educate future generations for the weight behind being courageous, for we have a duty to do so. Teachers College has revived my sense of duty, and it has awakened the reality of my world. Many of us sit here today with an idea of what comes next professionally, and some of us anxiously awaiting emails of job offers. But in our quest in finding our duty, I challenge you to look multi-directionally. While Teachers College has taught us to think big and to change the world, that should not be synonymous with climbing the ladder. To me, changing the world should be viewed as climbing a jungle gym. As we move through life, it does not need to be laterally. It means to climb down, to your left, to your right, zigzagged, and all over. It has been our diverse experiences that have earned us a seat at Columbia, and it will be our diverse experiences that enable us to discover and fulfill our duty. However, while we have jungle gyms to climb and duties to fulfill, today is a day to celebrate our commencement and this watershed moment in our life. And while I have imparted the message of duty among all of you today, colleagues, today, embrace this moment. Every congratulatory hug, handshake, and tear. Take a walk across campus under the newly shaded walk with pride in your blue robes. Enjoy a chocolate milkshake from Shake Shack, or if you're in my cohort, a shot of tequila. Enjoy today because victory has been achieved, and we so often rush past these moments and on to the next. Take today and the next for yourself, because we have spent our time at Teachers College focused on others. John Dewey, Horace Mann, Jean Piaget, to name a few. But today is a celebration for you, for your families, and for your future. As we cross 120th Street for the first time as graduates of Teachers College, I challenge you to seek a career not because of its title, but because of its opportunity. An opportunity for all of us to fulfill our responsibility to society, our duty to humanity. To those in the sea of blue, graduates of 2018, I congratulate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Katie Kresick, EDD candidate, accompanied by Elsa Lee, EDM candidate, Music and Music Education, Department of Arts and Humanities. And now, to recognize each of the master's degree candidates are Tom Rock, Vice Provost of Student Affairs, and Christine Rome, Associate Provost.
Good afternoon. At this time, it gives us great pleasure to read the names of those candidates for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Philosophy, and Master of Science degrees at Teachers College, Columbia University. All degrees will be conferred at the Columbia University ceremony tomorrow. Thank you very much. And now, the candidates for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Philosophy, and Master of Science degrees.
We begin with the Department of Human Development. Jay Gao.
Rui Zhao,
Jian Yi,
Chi Wang,
Kyungna Park,
Tian K,
Yoonji Ro,
Danielle Exler,
Ana Maria Cañas,
Julian De Palmer,
Anjali Patel,
Marie Skacheva,
Marisi Bonner,
Amina Abdelaziz,
Drusilla Lefebvre,
Shanae Thompson,
Iram Yedishan,
Anna Alejo,
Simua Tong,
Huajian Gao,
Delshad Shroff,
King Young Hao,
Stephanie Wong,
Lexi Wang,
Angelica Vinya Abarasan,
Kessin Wang,
Richard Etia,
Xinyu Yu,
Ivan Sven,
Xinru Zhang,
Yutin Zhang,
Caitlin Odell,
Sijan Xiao,
Nicole Simons,
Syed Bakr Mehdi Rizvi,
Isha Markna,
Hui Jin Young,
Danielle Leniza,
Kangxi Song,
Kendrick Anderson,
Jia Qing Zhang,
Ebony Reagans,
Idan Yan,
Shuo Fan,
Adina Shabazz,
Wen Young,
Chantel Diamond,
Deborah Vasquez,
Rebecca Robinson,
Anna Lomidzi,
Michelle Cook,
Stephen Moore,
Jessica Weiss,
Megan Mahoney,
Pooja Sabnani,
Angela DePompas,
Robert Azim Jackson III,
Megan Ramirez,
Jonathan Stellman,
Sabine Lewis,
Shreya Goel,
Nianyi Liu,
Lauren Romine,
Wensa Chung,
Truheng Ho,
Yu Yang Wu,
Chen Chen,
Fengxian Liu,
Devin Goto,
Alam Al-Rashadi,
Jingtong Fan,
Josie Su,
Xian Chen,
Ji Zhang,
Luyao Che,
Will the students and the faculty from the Department of Human Development please stand and recognize our graduates?
Congratulations. We now welcome the graduates in the Department of International and Transcultural Studies. Julian Parayo,
Christopher Sanacor,
Deborah Cole,
Marley Tavlin,
Alisa Sakino,
Molly Morgan,
Giovanni Escudero,
Andrew Wortham,
Caitlin Thomas,
Rui Shui Hung,
Yujing Hu,
Mario Delgado,
Olivia Pan,
Tisuk Sanchez,
CJ Yu,
Elizabeth Park,
Rebecca Nelson,
April Sime,
Jasper Leahy,
Mei Lei,
Jiao Wang,
Yinli Yi,
Junjian Gao,
Yingying Si,
Siyao Lui,
Yiran Ma,
Dongshe Su,
Seisei Song,
Kong Yu,
Raylin Chu,
Rose Flynn,
Yan Zhang,
Chen Chen,
Catherine Knudler,
and Song Wang,
Desiree Halpern,
Xiaowen Han,
Cody Freeman,
Yunwin Xiao,
Yasmin Corzo,
Corinne Council,
Asami Nay,
Kelly Case,
Rachel Stepanek,
Nadia Garfunkel,
Kevin Nascimento,
Caitlin Griffith Heritage,
Ayman Sabunya,
Michaela Skinner,
Yibing Kyo,
Rizkarosa Darni,
Jaiwan Du,
Alexandria Hill,
Her Chang,
Amna Malik,
Sarah Lewinger,
Tareem Askar,
Eleanor San,
Maria Taha,
Lena Zhu,
Zuri Malanzi,
Yumeng Zhang,
Sumita Abasta,
Gungshim Kim,
Badr Al-Farhan,
Yo Chung,
Galmina Mahmood,
Duri Yi,
Sarah Shadid,
Yiran Du,
Yu Le,
Wenwen Chiang,
Catherine Popoff,
Kalam Wang,
Morgan Grunat,
Victoria Hernandez,
Lauren Bowden,
Cheyenne Wizard Jones,
Nathan Mullen,
Shazleen Balani,
Nicole Prasad,
Kaori Muzakashi,
Unye Grace Chung,
Elizabeth Endara,
Erica Kessler,
Ying Dai,
Kasfia Islam,
Miles Reinhardt,
Justin Cox,
Omar Callan,
Nisha Parikh,
Azel Dorambeva,
Young Xu,
Giselle Pintu Teixeira,
Sarah French,
Draman Widrarogo.
Aram Jion.
Shilen Fan.
Sumin Park.
Chionwer Ang.
Grace Na.
Shahan Wu.
Young Un Bae.
Shavina Rowe.
Yujia Fu.
Will the students and the faculty from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies please stand and recognize our graduates?
Congratulations. We now bring you the graduates in the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology. Sunria Thomas.
Asha Owens.
Troy Williams.
Michael Darden.
Julianne Gachalian.
Rashika Jane.
Michael Tarno.
Greg Montgomery.
Maheen Ahmed.
Maria Immaculada Maceda Verasta.
Veronica Gato.
Dee Yang.
Deidriana Williams.
Ina Wang.
Nina Rogers.
Boer Tan.
Margarita Almada.
Bowen Lee.
Yang Yang.
Shin Guan.
David Gottlieb.
Heidi Son.
Yu Chin.
Young Julia Lim.
Sabrina Hussein.
Jian Shin.
Colin Howard.
Amy Ho.
Shannan Lin.
Ruth Iserman.
Shuyang Sun.
Lisa Mertes Sapahi.
Kyle Chen.
Evelina Winaksuri.
Brenda Sparrow.
Grace Gunawan.
Itain Tsai.
Jinyan Liao.
Jun Yi.
Menchi Ding.
Gina Marcel.
Sinan Liu.
Karen Nicole Cole Napper.
Daria Dudenkova.
Inyong Sia.
Jacqueline Romero.
Yongjing Wang.
Yuka Kawamura.
Wei Dai.
Yi Ren.
Jingshang Wang.
Wentian Ma.
Jing An.
Wang Shi.
Charlotte Wu.
Tianjiao Zhang.
Waswa Mubanda.
Adriana Selman.
Alexander Abendola.
Maria Isabel Correa.
Emma Lunder.
Carol Newman.
Lindsay Bear.
Rocio Kanda.
Rachel Kate Miller.
Rocio Santos Carrillo.
Jiao Julie Zhu.
Xiaochu Du.
Casey Clark.
Anaika Ramos.
Yu Yan.
Jiaoyu Xiang.
Andrea Mozo.
Xinyi Wu.
Megan Clark.
Shuhan Jiang.
Hannah Ziegler.
Chencheng Wang.
Alexandra Sepoldova.
Caden Merrick Gemelo.
Catherine Sandling.
Jenna Brunette.
Michael Trico.
Michael Fagan.
Stephanie Giatis.
Will the students and the faculty from the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology please stand and recognize our graduates?
Congratulations. Last but not least, the Department of Organization and Leadership. Rebecca Kui.
Rajna Shetty.
Corral Kalush.
Brandy Stalling.
Amandeep Singh.
Latoya Rains.
Melissa Aguiar.
Erica Lyles.
Grace Alcid.
Jessica Laster.
Akias Damiron.
Marcella Moore.
Ruhao Chen.
Julian Ramirez.
Katie Knoll.
Zachary Irvin.
Serena Marin Kolich.
Curtis Palmore.
Neslihan Kurt.
Catherine Burton.
Alyssa Chase.
Erica Beal.
Gabriel Jones.
Edward Rongel.
Christine Goglia.
Rachel Brill.
Brianna Taylor.
Wayne Joseph Banks II.
Ilona Gomez.
Adrian Watkins.
Nicole Rogers.
Deirdre McShay.
Haluk Oz.
Lauren Shockley.
Fatima Gadira.
Baltazar Benavides.
Monica Burney.
Samantha Schwartz.
Nikita Shan Kumar.
Avin Karias.
Abigail Johnson.
Kimberly Cordova.
Suvarna Joshi.
Brandy Davis.
Anshuma Aurora Mukamala.
Willie Brewster.
Nihar Shah.
Naomi Arroyo.
Anjali Agawar.
Jocelyn Oviedo.
Dimple Bangalore.
Ashley Yuhan.
Ellie Plout.
Brian Behrman.
Rachel McNair.
Howard Harrison.
Lindsay Rosenbaum.
Brian Hawkins.
Andrew Blick.
Ade Cox.
Chad Plangy.
Adaya Cox.
Richard Cotty.
Erica Holmes Ware.
Wiley Grant.
Joseph Mason.
Zach Merva.
Terrell Hosky.
Caroline Brick.
Demetrius Lancaster.
Brian Weaver.
Adriana Douglas.
Thomas Carell.
Somi Aluwasomi Ogunwanswada.
Charles Dvorak.
Camille Provençal.
Ross Skilling.
Ashley Wright.
Curtis Bew.
Chelsea Williams.
Joshua Bowen.
Lindsay Steele.
Mark Passmore.
Elizabeth Hinckley.
Michael Russo.
Amy Kate Wallace.
Dmitry Dukanich.
Emily Barnett.
Joseph King.
Megan Stroh.
Francois Azure.
Ryan Stivers.
Marin Cohn.
Peter Coons.
Hazel Junn.
Troy Enriquez.
Natalie Carito.
Aaron Resendez.
Matthew Kuntz.
Yilmaz Yaruk.
Eri Ito.
Laura Nagy.
Karen Wu.
Stephanie Ambrosio.
Xiaoting Zhou.
Gilbert Policia.
Pietat Tanapisatiku.
Q Liu.
Run Karn Rakoshan.
Jennifer Wang.
Sarah An.
Thomas Pan.
Kei Sui.
Danielle Sasson.
Buyu Su.
Peter Janis.
Shelia Young.
Michelle Khan.
Xiaoyang Gong.
Jason Wheeler.
Ishane Ouyang.
Philip Gray.
Rebecca Dvorak.
Daniel Liss.
Ning Hu.
Christina Lopez Gonzalez.
Talia Bender.
William Bokoff.
Gabriela Figueroa.
Yevgenia Mazlina.
Charlene Haley McNeil.
Alexandra Barrett.
Alicia Santana.
Hans Alcindor.
Carrie Mallet.
Nahyun Lee.
Jonathan Neidig.
Hyojin Kim.
Jerry Petrocinio.
Jessica Lachisano,
Clarissa Pena,
Christine Lawhorn,
Diana Bergdorf,
Maria Cardenas Grajales,
Evangeline Liu,
Vanessa Esposito,
Michael Hillman,
Vania Trejo,
Taylor Cook,
Serafima Narova,
Kat Stevens,
Afua Donkor,
Stephanie Lancette,
Allison March,
Madeleine Roy,
Kelsey Lamberto,
Christopher Cerruti,
Brittany Wolf,
Suhey Ramos,
Elizabeth Osborne,
Ana Mendieta,
Caitlin Toretto,
Monica Blodgett,
Michelle McGowan,
Brittany Nathaniel,
Christina Boquin,
Nicole Giannopoulos,
Michelle Kucharsek,
Karina Wynn,
Alexandra Roth,
Raul Cervantes,
Lauren Statman,
Daniela Conde,
Eileen Farrell,
Jiachi Chow,
Colleen Ahern Fortuna,
Kanoka Shino,
Paolo Celso Magales Pizarro,
James Ramser III,
Sasha Wells,
Jordan Brown,
Cynthia Oliver,
Kara Chen,
Caroline Kish,
Tanya Anderson,
Krista Tillman,
Mindy Levinson,
Corey Kobashigawa,
Devin Gray,
Leonidas Marin,
Laura Tierney,
Zachary Hawkins,
Haley Scheck,
Derek Connor,
Anna Marie Reyes,
Sabine Gromer,
Margaret Brennan,
Helen Adair,
Christine Marie Grogan,
Agata Apucci,
Ann Townsend Solis,
Christine Friello Feeney,
Avril Hanley,
Emily Youngs,
Crystal Kalinsek,
Stephanie Fritz,
Sheeta Almasi,
Wardna Warren,
Matthew Hardy,
Stacy Ann Larkin,
Ingram Carpenter,
Eric Zachary,
Michael Hardiman,
Sarah Stowers,
Lauren Links,
Kristen Benzinger,
Carla Puglies,
Alistair Butler.
Nicholas Molnar.
Corey Eggert.
Todd Dowling.
Nahida Karmali.
Anastasia Quinn.
Aaron McHale.
Erica Samoji.
Zifan Yang.
Robert Kettlewell.
Homing Jiang.
Michael Schub.
Duncan Briggs.
Jeremy Sandler.
Kellyanne Connors.
Peter Miller.
Erica Denise Williams.
Francesca Muro.
Will the students and the faculty from the Department of Organization and Leadership please stand and recognize our graduates? And would all of our students and all of our faculty please stand and recognize our amazing graduates?
And now, for the presentation of the candidates, please welcome Provost Thomas James.
President Furman, Mr. Rickert, trustees, faculty, staff, and guests, it is my pleasure as Provost of the College to present to you the Master's candidates from Teachers College. Please hold your applause until all of the candidates have been recognized. Would the Master of Arts candidates please stand, be recognized, and remain standing? Master of Arts candidates. Would the Master of Science candidates please stand, be recognized, and remain standing? Would the Master of Philosophy candidates please stand, be recognized, and remain standing? Would the Master of Education candidates please stand, be recognized, and remain standing? President Furman, I ask you to recommend these students for the granting of their master's degree tomorrow morning at the Columbia University commencement exercises. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marion Boltby, the president of the Teachers College Alumni Association.
Alumni. Let me say that again. Alumni. It is my distinct pleasure to formally welcome you into the Teachers College Alumni Association. As you stand here before this esteemed group and alongside your peers, we look on with great pride. Today, you join our Alumni Association, a network of over 90,000 professionals comprised of graduates from a myriad of academic backgrounds and all walks of life, who have created an incredible legacy. You will now be a part of that legacy. Your fellow Teachers College alumni have made a global impact, shaping many fields of inquiry and practice. They have done so through their leadership, tenacity, experience, and wisdom. They have also done so because of the people like the ones around you today, who form your support systems and network of peer mentors. Many would argue that they have done so because of their Teachers College preparation. We know that you too will follow in these footsteps and make your own mark. Just as you needed support throughout your time at Teachers College, we know that you will need similar resources as you embark on your careers, and we encourage you to look to TC. I'm here today to tell you how valuable your participation in our Alumni Association can be. We are colleagues and collaborators, supporters and challengers, mentors and mentees. And most importantly, we are your peers. What keeps us all together is our alma mater, Teachers College. While everyone has had a different journey, I am certain that no one's path leading to this time and place was free of challenges. I'm also certain that along the way you found inspiration, insight, and joy. And many of you have developed what will become lifelong friendships. I encourage you to stay connected to your classmates as you move forward in your careers, and to tap the deep pool of expertise and knowledge offered by the broader TC community. We hope to see you at future alumni events and also featured in future newsletters. Know that you will always have a home in TC's vibrant community. On behalf of your fellow alumni, we wish you all the best in your endeavors. Congratulations and welcome to the Alumni Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, William Rickert, Chair of the Teachers College Board of Trustees.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Teachers College, I want to congratulate each of you on your extraordinary achievement. We thank your families and friends for joining with the faculty and staff of Teachers College to recognize you, our master's graduates of the class of 2018. We know that your contributions to improving the lives of your fellow human beings will become part of the TC legacy and make us all proud. Thank you.